Sean Strickland!
He has taken this sport by storm. He moves every needle, celebrity and otherwise, that you would want him to move.
It is a drug, and I'm addicted to it.
Oh, that wobbles Allen. Strickland trying to end it, and he does.
I was in the nosebleeds, and now I made his nosebleed.
I'm not a good guy, I'm a villain. I want to take what you have, I want to break what you are. If you have something good in life, I want to take it from you. This is who I am.
Even as a champion, he wants the challenges that other people try to avoid.
I'm the new dog in the yard.
I want the title, and if you don't want to give me the title, give me me, because I want the title. I want to fight the first and only Chinese champion. Let's do this. We're here. I'm here. We're all here. Let's have a party.
Anyone else get the sense that the middleweight division is truly coming alive? Well, at the very least, all fears of Israel Adesanya running out of future contenders has been put to bed with the emergence of Driccus du Plessis, the arrival of Khamzat Chimaev, and surprisingly, Sean Strickland getting the next title shot. And even though he's going to be the huge underdog coming in, this fight makes a lot of sense. Let's dive into Adesanya versus Strickland and peel back some of the layers, because no matter what happens on fight night, this one is going to be interesting, folks. Strickland might just be the most controversial man in MMA today, but even if you're not a fan, the fact that he has gone from title picture outsider to next in line for a belt is kind of shocking. Strickland is a crazy dude, and no matter what happens in the cage, expect him to find a way to get right under Israel Adesanya's skin before they fight. Sure, you might think that Strickland's only weapon against Adesanya is his mouth. It's not the craziest prediction to make, but just because he'll be outgunned technically by Izzy in every part of this fight, doesn't mean that he can't use his mental warfare to try and even the playing ground. This is not a normal guy.
I don't try to be funny. I just am retarded.
Yeah.
This is a man who spars Francis Ngannou just so he can feel a real sense of danger. In fact, he's famous for being a vicious sparring partner, a man who comes alive when things get truly scary in there.
If you like to fucking hurt people, you're in the right sport, man. Like, I would love nothing more than to kill somebody in the ring. Nothing more. To make me super happy. I would own that shit too.
He was the only man in the entire middleweight division, except for Izzy, who was too stubborn to try and wrestle Alex Pereira, a possible route to victory which would have served him a lot better than the one he chose. But Sean Strickland does not compromise who he is, and coming up against Adesanya, that makes him a credible threat. People will be very quick to disregard his chances of winning. Strickland is a striker first and foremost, a guy who uses unorthodox defense to frustrate his opponents while he attempts to drown them in his overwhelming volume. Against Poatan, his defensive systems were too easy to read, and it did not take long for Pereira to time him and eventually score the finish. But is Adesanya the type of fighter who can get Strickland out of there early? Well, he certainly has the power to score an early finish. He showed this against Robert Whittaker, Derek Brunson, and even Alex Pereira. But if Strickland fights the right type of fight, Adesanya might get drawn into a firefight that isn't exactly his best route to victory. Because let's not forget that Strickland is almost guaranteed to get the better of Izzy when it comes to the press conference. You must know that Strickland will not leave a single stone unturned when it comes to his preparations in the trash talk department.
Oh man, I made the champion man with his frosted tips and his gay little watch. Oh no!
He's going to bring up every skeleton in Adesanya's closet, and we already caught a glimpse of how this might look the last time Izzy and Sean shared a press conference stage together.
Bro, trust me, if you ever, I can tell you what, if you win this fight, when we fight, I knock you out, I'm gonna do a TikTok dance over your grave.
And Adesanya did not like it one bit. Izzy is all about presenting himself as the stoic, composed champion, and Strickland has a God-given talent for ripping people like that to shreds.
I'm an expert on like shitty people.
Who knows, maybe Strickland gets Adesanya so mad that he loosens up a little on fight night, deviates from the game plan and makes things a bit uglier than expected. Sure, Adesanya would still be favored to come out on top if things get a little wild. But let's not forget that Sean Strickland is capable of learning from his mistakes. And just because he elected to stand with Alex Pereira doesn't mean that he is destined to do the same against Izzy. No, there's a chance that Strickland could lure Izzy into a trap there. He knows that we all perceive him as a bit of a crazy person, and that is perception that Strickland could absolutely use to his advantage. Because if he does manage to truly get under Adesanya's skin during the pre-fight build-up, and then uses Izzy's fiery offense to sneakily bring some wrestling into the mix, yeah, this fight is not as straightforward as people think. Strickland has some good luck in his career, but he's also a damn good fighter. And his win over Abus Magomedov and Nasruddin Imavov showcased a guy who has earned his position in the top 10. Sure, he talks a lot and doesn't exactly come across as the most technical fighter in the world, but if Adesanya gets drawn into trying to make a statement against Strickland, he may play well right into the title challenger's hand. Strickland's title shot is coming after a win over an unranked fighter, sure. And yes, the bout with Driccus du Plessis makes a lot more sense within the division, but Adesanya is one of the most active champions on the roster, and he wants to compete again this year. DDP is injured, and there's no getting around that. So Sean Strickland makes a whole lot of sense. But part of me feels like the world would be sleeping on this guy's chances to pull off a crazy upset. This is the number 6 ranked middleweight in the world. Love him or hate him, you can't deny that he is improving with each passing fight. The sports fan base might be a little lukewarm on this bout right now, but trust me, when this fight's first press conference takes place, you'll understand exactly why the UFC and Adesanya himself chose Strickland. But let's not pretend like this decision is bulletproof. No, there is a chance that Izzy is underestimating Strickland's ability to truly get inside his head. This is a man who will say anything to provoke his opponent.
God, Izzy just fucking sucks. If I ever fight Izzy, you guys, I'm gonna go get a little Chinese flag that says slut on it. Oh boy. And I'll bring it to the weigh-in for you guys, and I'll hand him his little Chinese flag that says slut, just for Izzy.
And with a guy like Adesanya, Strickland might have an absolute field day. We have seen Izzy in situations with trash talkers before. He had feuds with guys like Paulo Costa and Derek Brunson. But this one looks like it may hit different. Sean Strickland is a crazy person, and he will no doubt go out there believing that he is capable of shocking the world.
I just want to make America better. I want to make America great again.
Israel Adesanya might be one of the greatest fighters of his era. Hell, he might even become the greatest middleweight of all time before everything is said and done. But he is definitely human. And we've watched him get rocked, we've watched him get finished, and we've even seen what happens when he loses a technical 5-round fight. If Kelvin Gastelum can draw a war out with Israel Adesanya, perhaps the idea of Sean Strickland doing the same isn't out of the question.
Hey, you sick fuckers, man. My band, the people that follow me, you guys are all a bunch of sick fucks, and I love you guys, seriously.